Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to another countdown of the 10 best-selling cards. I'm John Kapora, managing editor of magic.tcgplayer.com, and we do this thing twice a week. Once for weekends, once for weekdays, and we hope you enjoy the show. This is the official Pro Tour Hour of Devastation edition, and once we get into this countdown, you'll see why. As far as I can tell, Imminent Doom is a spec purchase. It didn't show up in any of the Pro Tour or Magic Online PTQ lists, but I can see it doing some work in future iterations of Mono Red that go straight to the dome. The deck certainly has the mana curve to make Imminent Doom work. On-Crop Crasher is one of the better cards in the Mono Red deck, blanking an attacker and hitting for big, hasty damage. But the crown jewel of the Mono Red deck, however, is Hazoret the Fervent. Over the weekend, pros, including Hall of Fame commenter Luis Scott Vargas, observed that the player that resolved Hazoret the Fervent first immediately became a massive favorite to win the game. Expect to see 4 Hazorets in Mono Red decks going forward. Kari Zev Skyship Raider allows the Mono Red deck to go wide in one card, making it a valuable piece of the puzzle it presents to opponents. The one full art land that sold in the top 10 this week was Island, but expect more full art lands to make a comeback once players lock in their standard decks for the upcoming season. Bomat Courier gets a lot better without all those Thraben Inspectors floating around, and since the Mono Red deck empties its hand so fast, Bomat Courier is a guaranteed source of serious card advantage in the late game. The discard drawback becomes irrelevant. Abrade is in a weird spot right now. It's not quite mana efficient, and if the Mono Red / Zombies metagame is to be believed, there aren't enough artifacts floating around to make it good. Both Godpharaoh's Gift and Oketra's Monument have fallen by the wayside. I've said it before, Abrade will sell well for a long time, but I'm not convinced that Abrade is where you want to be in Standard right now, at least not main deck. If I'm playing in a Standard event this weekend, I'd rather have Shock or Magma Spray. Sunscorched Desert deals damage and can be sacrificed to Ramunap Ruins. What more could the red deck want? The glue that holds the Mono Red deck together is Hour of Devastation standout Earthshaker Kenra. The card is really good and pressures opponents to stabilize and have a way to deal with the graveyard. Most often, opponents can't do both. But the number one seller this week is Ramunap Ruins. So what did we learn? Well, we learned that the Mono Red deck did very well at the Pro Tour. I mean, 9 of the top 10 cards that sold this week are from the deck, and that got a lot of players excited. We learned that deck archetypes aren't made competitive because of one good card, but that when a slew of solid upgrades that synergize with existing cards enter the card pool, all bets are off. Sunscorched Desert and On-Crop Crasher weren't exactly lighting up the scoreboard before Hour of Devastation was released, but Earthshaker Kenra and Ramunap Ruins suddenly gave those existing cards a way to shine. For TCG Player, I'm John Kapora, and I will see you Friday. Pew!